Charlie, it's all yours.
Thank you, Bob. I'd just like to thank the USA Today coaches for giving me the opportunity to come and speak. Just involved with coaching, you're my background. I'm not a coach who think I know everything. I started as a graduate assistant, you guys have heard, and then I've been able to work my way around, making my last stop here at Notre Dame. But before Notre Dame, I was at University of Florida. I was the assistant head coach at University of Florida. And, we had some really good teams there. But when I made a decision to come to Notre Dame, everybody said, why you leave that nice warm weather to come north? And I was like, I don't know. It's just one of those that I just wanted to do. It's something I wanted to do. And I said, I have a chance to go to Notre Dame. And I love the University of Florida, and I had some really great experiences there and worked with some really good coaches. I think Coach Spurrier is an outstanding football coach and the defensive coach, offensive coaches there. But when I had a chance to go to Notre Dame, it was, how you walk in a situation and you say, why would you make a move? And you're here at University of Florida, you're assistant head coach. But it was just, sometimes you look at a situation and you say, well, if I can go to Notre Dame and it's a place that you always hear about and a place that you always like to coach, then I think that you should take advantage of that opportunity. And I worked there with Bob Davie. I was his graduate assistant at Texas A&M. Jackie Sherrill was the head coach, so I knew Bob. I had known Kurt Dahl. And it's my first time. I've never met Coach Holtz. I'd never met Coach Holtz till I go there on the interview. And it was so strange on the interview. I leave Florida, and it was 70 degrees. I get to South Bend, it's freezing rain. I didn't even wear a jacket. I just had on a suit. I go in, it's freezing rain. He picked me up. I said, oh, man, what am I thinking? I'm coming up here in all this rain and the sleet and everything. But that didn't bother me at all. That was not going to be a factor. The weather was not going to be a factor. It was just that I knew that I had a chance to come to Notre Dame, and we're always strong there, and we had an outstanding season this season. I think that what happened talent-wise, University of Florida has some really outstanding players. So when I got to Notre Dame, the talent level wasn't the way I had it at Florida because I had two first-rounders, one Kevin Carter with the St. Louis and then Ellis Johnson with the Indianapolis. So when I get to Notre Dame, I didn't have those type of players, but it still didn't bother me because I think that being there, you're going to always get those type of players. And I know that we're going to always be able to get guys that are going to be first-rounders and All-Americans. And the players are just outstanding kids. It's amazing that, coming south and going north, just how disciplined the players and the kids are. It's totally different. And it's totally different being at Notre Dame. And it's an experience that, so many people talk about, but you never know until you're there. And then when you're there and you sit, it's just what you see from the outside. Because I know we played them when I was at Florida. We played them in the Sugar Bowl, and they ended up beating us. And, you always think about, what is so unique and special, and it is a special university, and it is different, and it is very unique. And just working with Coach Holtz and having a chance to work under him, you learn so much football. He is a coach that he's going to tell you what's on his mind. He don't mind telling you what's on his mind. Whether you like it or not, you're going to hear it. And if you're going to get that, then that's the way you want it. And and he's a coach that lets you coach. And like I said, he is a coach that loves fundamentals, and we teach fundamentals there. But just my coaching background, my dad was a high school coach. And the thing that just growing up and being around him, and what I really noticed is that you guys, some of your high school coaches in here, you have such an influence on young kids that it is unbelievable, the influence and the impact that you have on young kids. And so, some of you, you're the father, when that young man goes home from practice, some of you have to drive him home to make sure that he's going home. And, sometimes you have to go out at night, check on him, try to run him down, make sure he's not in the streets. But it's amazing the impact that the high school coaches have on the high school kids. And with the way it is now, I look at coaching as you have to be able to handle young people. You want them to be productive, and you want them to be good citizens. And we as coaches, we are role models, whether we want to not accept it or not. Because a lot of kids, they look up to college coaches. They look up to you as your high school coach because you are their high school coaches. And you're around, a lot of times they're around you more than they're at home. If some of those kids could just stay there after practice and go play basketball, they would. Or if you leave that gym open, if they want to go and stay and work out, they will stay there as long as they can until they have to go home. because a lot of them with the background that they come from, they don't want to have to deal with going home, because I just know that my dad being a coach and me being around coaches and how a lot of kids just always wanted to hang around the school after practice or just want to come home with us. But it's just amazing. Even at the University of Notre Dame, we are more interested in kids graduating and becoming productive kids as they leave there. And you know, it's nothing unique about coaching. You just want to handle young people. You want to be role models. You want them to respect you. You want them to be around kids that they respect and they would like to work with also. You know, we've set a goal there. One of our mottos at Notre Dame this season is going to be either they are us or we are them. And they are going to become a part of us or we're going to become a part of them. And as guys, it's usually the freshmen. When freshmen enter your program, or as a young guy enter your program, you want them to become a part of that program, because you're not going to change your program where they're going to run the program. And that's not going to happen at Notre Dame. We're not going to change our program where we're going to let them run our program. There's guys that's been there, the seniors, the juniors, that have came into that program, and they know what they're looking for. You know, we have one goal there, and that's to win a national championship. And as you know, we lose a game. This year we lose to Northwestern. Everybody thought we were down. You know, some of you guys probably felt like that. You're just like, what is going on in Notre Dame? What is happening there? And, you know, some of us, you know, you know, it's just like this with me. We lose one game, but that's not the season, because we had 10 or 11 more to play. So you can't let one game just take away your whole season. But we, you know, we fought back and we were able to, you know, stand in there and play with some people. And Ohio State ended up beating us. Florida State ended up beating us. But still, we had a chance to go and stand in there and fight them. But the thing about it is that kids that come into that program, they become a part. They become the Notre Dame, and they do the things that we want them to do. And they're all good kids. You know, you might have one or two bad ones, but once they get there, they're going to conform to our rules, and they're going to do what we ask them to do. But, you know, my philosophy of defense is, you know, everybody does a lot of different things. And, you know, your setup is different from our setup just because at college we can go out and we can recruit guys to play different positions for us. Or we can get guys, you know, we had that luxury of recruiting them. But in high school, a lot of times what you have to do is you got to play with what you got. And a lot of times when you see guys come to clinics or you see guys always visiting college campuses, it's always good to get ideals, but you have a philosophy and you have a way of the way you do things. So you should not change and try to do what everybody else is doing. Because, you know, if you look at offensively, you see people throwing the ball. You see, you know, a few years ago, everybody went to the one back and they're trying to throw the ball all over the park. And it's amazing as a recruiter, when you go to games, you'll see guys line up in that one back in high school. They just couldn't do it. But they'll get in those formations, try to throw the ball all over the park because other schools were doing it and the colleges were doing it. But you as a high school coach or college coaches are in here, you know what you want to do. So you should not let someone else change your philosophy. It's always good to go and get ideals, because you're going to be able to pick up ideals that are way different fundamentals or techniques or the way they're doing things. But also you got to do what you think is best with what you have, because we can always go out and get those type of guys. When we want to do something, we recruit those type of people to do those type of things. Like in a passing situation, we put in pass rushers. In rundowns, we got big stopper guys that are going to go in there and fight and going to stop the run. So we have those type of people. But in high school, you got that one guy, you know, you might have one or two really good players, and so you try to highlight that player. But also, you got the way that you've always coached, so don't let someone change your coaching or don't go somewhere else and say, hey, because they're doing it at Notre Dame or because they're doing it somewhere else, that's the way we want to do it. You know, even when I was at University of Florida, they throw that ball all over the ballpark. You know, Coach Spurrier has a great offensive mind, and people would come in there and they would just, you know, they try to come in and pick up his scheme, which is very hard because with the receivers that they have at Florida and the quarterback being coached by Steve Spurrier himself, it was hard for teams to come in there and pick up what they were doing on offense. Because you'll see people, when I was there, we'll play schools, and guys will be running wide open. And you'll say, how can that happen? But it's just the way it's set up and the way his system is. And everybody's got a system. You have a system, they have a system. And that's what make it work, because that system is over and over and over. And it's the way you defensively, when you do something over and over and over, then that's what makes you good. You just can't come in there one week you played a 50, then the next week you want to go to an 8-man front, and then the next week you want to go to stack. You always want to put your kids in a position where they can win, and you want to put them in a position where, as a coach, you help them win. Because if you just tell them what to do, they're going to do it. You just tell them what to do, and they're going to do it. So you always want to put them in a position that is going to be helpful to the players. Because a lot of times we as coaches, we want to walk around like we know everything. We don't know everything. It's all about going out and finding that defensive lineman who is 6'3", 6'4", 265, and running 4'6" and 4'7". That's the guy that makes me look like a good football coach. It ain't because I know everything. It's those guys that are lining up front right there and playing well. They're the ones that make us look good. But, you know, everybody has their own segment. Everybody has a way that they like to do things. But as a philosophy, it's just that you have a system. You go with your system. You know what you've been coaching. A lot of you have been coaching a long time. Some of you have been probably coaching longer. I know you've been coaching longer than I have, but you just know the way you want to do things, and that's the way you want to do it. So don't let somebody come in. It's always good to go somewhere and get ideas. You can come and visit our campus at any time. We let coaches come in. Anytime you want to come in, you can sit in on our staff meetings. You can sit right in there while we're going through staff meeting, and you can hear Coach Holtz talking to everyone. It doesn't even bother him for you to come in and visit our place. You can come in at any time. But we have cut-ups there for you. We have film for you. Whatever you want to do, you can come in and visit our place. But it's just that you have a system, you have a way of doing things, and that's what you have to do. And what I'm going to speak on is defensive line fundamentals, the way I coach the defensive line, you know, run and pass. You know, some of you guys have ideas. If any time you want to ask a question, ask the question, because, you know, I don't think any question's a dumb question, because if you want to ask it, you ask it, and I'm going to answer the question. But I think that in coaching now, the position that is very overlooked fundamentally is the defensive line, because everybody's went back to trying to throw the football. So you see poor techniques being taught at the defensive line position. The fundamentals are not very good, because guys just want to run up the field. They want to run up the field, and they thinking the only thing they can do is rush the passer. But people do run the football. So all them guys, you know, they always thinking, hey, I can go and rush the passer, and I could be a first-round draft pick, or I can go and get me about 10 sacks, and you know, if I get those 10 sacks, everybody's going to be looking at me. But that's the thing that's been very neglected, is the fundamentals and the philosophies and the techniques. You watch guys, you go to guys, and you'll watch a guy run up the field, and there'll be a gaping hole, and they run the lead draw, and the linebacker just got hit, and the ball is down the field for about 20 yards, just because the guy didn't read the stance, or the guy didn't read the right technique. And so guys are just running up the field at defensive line, and you have to coach the defensive line. And the thing we like to do there at Notre Dame is, you know, I got fundamentals, and what we always start off with at practice, which is amazing, we start off what we call lose laws. And they're Coach Holtz laws, and I'm going to put them up here for you. But, you know, the things that we always talk about, we call those lose laws. We talk about a football position there. We talk about a blow delivery, proper arm and leg free. There's three things we always talk about. Because we feel like this. When you have got to get in a football position, you are either running to the football, or you're in a football position. Because you watch guys play as you're playing, either the running back is running at you and you're in a football position where you're broken down on the guy, getting ready to make the hit on him, or you're chasing the football. So you either run it, you're in a football position, you're either running to the ball or you're in a football position. Knees bent, eyes up. Okay, your chest is over your knees, so your knees are bent, your eyes is up, your chest is over your knees. Well, we tell them chest over your knees, your chin over your knees. Chin over your toes, the arch is small of your back, so I'm down in a football position right here. You want to get your hands down to the side. You don't want them resting on your knees. You want your hands down to your side, on arching your back in a football position. Blow delivery. When we always talk about blow delivery, you always want your pads out. Pads out in a blow delivery. You contact, well, I tell a guy this, you're going to make contact with your helmet, your shoulder, your elbows, or your hands. No chest to chest. If you ever give a guy your chest, you're coming up into him, so he's just hitting you right here in the chest. You never give the guy your chest. Your helmet, your shoulder pads, your hands, or your elbows. is what you're going to blow delivery with. Proper arm and leg free. You watch a lot of guys on the perimeter. You see guys get cut. Or you watch a defensive lineman. He's down in a 3 technique. He got his outside arm clean. He gets reach. You always want to keep your outside arm and leg free. Football position, your knees are bent, your eyes are on the blocker, and you cannot get chopped. Because you always see guys, you know, they're going to get chopped because they gave them the outside arm and leg. So they get chopped down and the ball is done seamless. Well, that's the 3 things we always talk about. We start off practice with lose laws. Everybody breaks up in a segment. I take blow delivery. One of the coaches have football position. One of them has the proper arm and leg free. And then we do a tackling drill. But everybody break up in 4 different segments, and we rotate them. So the first guy, you know, we'll do those stations for probably 3 minutes. We'll do those stations for 3 minutes, and then we rotate them. But those are the points that we always talk about. You're either in a football position, you're delivering your blow, or you have your outside leg and arm free. So when we start off with the defensive alignment, those guys know that those are 3 of the major points that we're always talking about. Football position, blow delivery, proper arm and leg free. The next key thing when we talk about fundamentals is our stance. You know, I feel like there are 2 types of stances. You know, the first I talk on run primarily, but you have a run stance and you have a pass stance. Okay, in your run stance, your feet are shoulder width apart. You have a toe to instep relationship. So we tell them toe to instep, feet shoulder width apart. Okay, weight on the inside balls of your feet. Hand down opposite your gap control, which is, just say this, if I'm shaded, if he is a guard, and I'm shaded right here, I want my inside hand down opposite your gap control, because I have this gap right here. So I put my inside hand down. Now if I have an inside shade on the guy, I'm going to put my outside hand down. So if I have an outside shade on it, if I'm shaded outside, I'm going to put my inside hand down. I want my outside arm and leg free. Now, if I have an inside shade on him, I'm going to move to the inside shoulder of him. I'm going to put my outside hand down, my inside arm and leg free. Okay? So that way, what happens is, if I put my outside hand down and I have an outside shade on the guy, I'm going to get into stepping in a second, how we talk about guys taking a step. Because if I have my outside hand down and he goes to reach me, I'm stepping right to him, so he's going to reach me. But if I have my inside hand down, it's a double step, which we'll be talking about in a second with how we step and how we take on blocks. But the run stance, feet shoulder width apart, toe to instep relationship, weight on the inside balls of the feet, hand down opposite your gap control, off hand in a ready position. So when I take a stance, just say this. If I get in a right-handed stance, I'm down, toe to instep relationship, arm and leg work together, my hand is out, this hand is in a ready position right here, head and eyes up. So when I come off and step, I'm staying down and I'm stepping out. Okay? What happens when I get a toe to instep relationship, that allows me not to overstep. Okay, if I kick back in the elongate stance, which is a pass stance, my first step, now I'm overstepping because I'm trying to gain ground. But on a run stance, you don't want to overstep, because what happens when you overstep, you're giving the guy your chest. Okay, you're giving your chest, because when you overstep, you're coming up into him. You don't want to you want to stay on the same plane as an offensive lineman. You want to actually be underneath his pads. When you're stepping, you want to be underneath his pads. So with the pass stance, it's an elongated stance. I kick the outside back, my butt is in the air, and now I am running off the football. In a run stance, we tell guys it's 3rd and 15, and we allow them to get in the run stance. But on the pass stance, 3rd and 15, you get in the pass stance. Now, when it's 1st and 10, we make calls to get our guys in run stances and pass stances. We make calls. So there's 2 stances there. We got a run stance and a pass stance. Now, base alignments.
We have 3 different alignments that we always talk about. Okay, if I'm in a base alignment and I'm aligned over an offensive alignment, if I'm in a base alignment, I'm going to split the crotch, which I'm going to take if I'm aligned to the left right here, I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to split it down this crotch. I'm going to split the crotch, okay? And that's a man key. We tell them anytime you're in a base alignment, it's a man key, where a guy's coming off the ball and you're reading the man over you. It's a base alignment. We don't want you running upfield. We don't want you jumping around blocks. You're always fitting blocks. It's a man, you're on the man, you're keying the man. The next alignment is a jet alignment. Now, the reason why we use a jet alignment, we have games that we run. Just say if we were going to run a game between the inside guy, which is the tackle, and the nose guard, we will get in a jet alignment, which is foot to foot. We'd use this alignment where you loosen up some, but you're not running up the field. You're not running up the field, okay? It's still the same thing. You're fitting blocks. It's a ball key. We want you getting off on the ball, but we don't want you just running up the field. You're still fitting the blocks. Now, the third alignment is a fly alignment. You want to get 1 yard outside. You loosen up. You get in that elongated stance. You get your butt up in the air, and now you're off on the ball. So we get them in 3 alignments. We just say 1st and 10. It's 1st and 10. You don't know if they're going to run or pass. It's a base alignment. Now, we want to get any type of movement, or we want any type of stunts, they know it's a jet alignment. They can get foot to foot. Now, if it's 3rd and 15, or we make a call, we will make a call 53 jet, 2-3, or 53 fly, 2-3. So those guys know we will make a call sometime for them to get in those different alignments. Fly, kick out there, get in a fly, get upfield right now. The thing we want to do is we want to be an aggressive attack in front. And the only way we can be an aggressive attack in front is guys get in the right stance, because it all starts with the stance, and it all starts with your different alignments with the stance. And a lot of times, you know, guys want to kick on the edge because they think they're an outside rusher and they don't want to make the contact. But the only way they're going to have to do it is they've got to get in these stances. And you have got to watch them every time. Because a lot of times, you know, what happens is we just overlook the defensive lineman because you feel like, oh, it's 1st and 10, so he's not going to run up the field, because you just take that for granted. Then all of a sudden, boom, a guy from the outside jumps upfield and they just seam you for about 10 yards because he wouldn't fit the block. When he knows it's 1st and 10, you know it's 1st and 10, and guys have got to be made aware of that. You have got to be made aware of that. Now, if you want him to get in a fly stance, you just call fly. You call 53 fly or whatever your front is, 35 fly, 45 fly. You tell him fly or you tell him jet, and those guys get in those alignments because you just made a call for them to get in those alignments. And a lot of times we tell those guys that. You know, as much as we be with them, I mean, we're with them more than you guys are, but sometimes you still have to tell them, because they will just run out there thinking that they're all super pass rushers and nobody's playing to run. But you have got to get guys to play to run. So we want to be an aggressive attack in front, but those guys know exactly what is happening to them. Okay, the next, we always talk about techniques, and I think that when you talk about techniques, we always want to talk about takeoff and keys. There's 2 keys. You got a man key and a ball key, okay? Anytime that we make calls where it's 1st and 10, or if it's 2nd and 8, if we don't put a fly or jet call on it, it is a man key. Because we will tell them when we want a fly or jet call. No fly or jet call, it's a man key. And what we always want to do is you're power stepping. And what I mean by power stepping, I'm in a right-handed stance. So if I'm in a right-handed stance, when I step, I'm stepping here. It's a 6 to 8 inch step. And it's hard to say it's 6 to 8 inch, but the power step is you do not want to overstep. So when I come off the ball, I'm running off the ball, I'm attacking. You're telling the guy you are an aggressive attack in front. You're not catching. You're not working lateral. We don't work lateral. We're working up the field. So when I come off, I'm here. So now my feet end up almost even with one another. So it's a power stepping. I'm power stepping to the V of the neck. And what I mean by the V of the neck, if I was over him right here, Coach, let me borrow you for a second. If I was over James, so when I come off the ball, just say this. If I'm shaded to the left right here, I'm in a left-handed stance because I have my outside arm and leg free. So when I come off the V of the neck, is I'm trying to get right here. Okay, that's my aiming point, the V of the neck. So when I come off, when he comes off, either way, if he steps here, I'm stepping right here. My hat is in the V of the neck here, but I'm power stepping. I do not want to overstep because I know this. I got to be lower than him. So when he comes off, I'm here power stepping. V of the neck. My hat is in the V of the neck. Okay? That's what we talk about when we say V of the neck, because wherever he goes, if you just key the V of the neck, if he steps outside, if I'm here, my hat is in the V of the neck. So wherever he goes, my hat is in the V of the neck. Okay? That's a ball key thing. Now, when we talk about ball key, then you see players work on getting off on the ball, attacking the line of scrimmage. And the third one there I put down there is exchange gap, step with near foot, three-step move. And what I mean by that, if I am a line head up and if I was going to the right, okay, if I was going to the right, and you had a game call between an inside guy, just say if you had a tackle who's a line head up on the guy or the guard, and you had a shaded nose, okay, the tackle's going first. So when I say a three-step move, I'm in a right-handed stance. I got to change because I'm going in this direction. I'm going to the right. So when I step, it's one, because I got to step with my near foot to get away from the guy, because he's coming off trying to block me. It's 1, 2, 3, three-step move up the field. Okay, that's what we always talk about when we're talking about games, because it's a three-step move. Because we feel like this: if I take a three-step move, it's 1, 2, 3, and then my feet are back even. If I had to go in this direction to redirect, I can run in that direction. And with 3, I can run back the other way. Whichever way I need to go on the game, I can go in that direction because it's a three-step move on the movement. So that's what we always say, but it's a ball key. The guy has got to see the ball. He does not need to worry about the man. Anytime you're running games or you're running stunts, line stunts, it's got to be a ball key for your guy. Because the blocking scheme is not going to matter to him because he's running away from the blockers. Even if that guy was to go there, if he takes off inside 1, 2, 3, then I'm still back here, because if he reads away from me, I'm always reading the next down lineman. If I'm going to the right, and if I have a stunt call, I'm going to the right, I'm reading the next down lineman. So my eyes are inside if I'm aligned over the guard, my eyes are inside at the center, because I'm reading the next down lineman, because I'm going in that direction. So it's 1, 2, if he's coming off, if I see him coming off, it's a ball stunt, so when I step here, I'm going to see what he's doing anyway. So if he's trying to block me, I got to get back inside of him, because I don't want to cross over because somebody else is coming into my gap. So I got to get back inside of him. Now, if I was going to the left, same thing. I'm reading the tackle. If I'm aligned over the guard, I'm reading the tackle. So it's 1, 2, 3. If he's coming to try to cut me off, I know I got to get back up the field. I cannot allow him to block me, because you're making a three-step move. You're always reading the next down lineman whatever way you're going. Read the next down lineman. So that's our ball key. So we got a man key, which we're power stepping. It's usually a 6 to 8 inch power step where you're running off and attacking. Then we have a ball key, usually for pass rush or for line stunts when we really key in the ball. Now, next thing we always talk about is one of our lose laws, but we talk about blow delivery. So in blow delivery, we always talk about proper footwork, which is why I always talk about power stepping. You're always power stepping on your proper footwork. Okay, your feet moves first, your body follows. So when I'm down, if I'm down in a stance, I want to come here, come out of my hips. I'm coming out right now. But the thing I don't want to do is roll my hips, because what happens when you're down and you raise up and roll your hips, you raise up. Your body comes up. So when I'm down, I want to stay down here. So I want to come out of my hips. I want to shoot out of my legs. But I want to roll, because offensive linemen, when they come off rolling their hips. They're taught to just try to knock you back. So if I come out, if I'm down in my stance, if I pop up, I'm rolling my hips, so I'm giving him a blocking target here. So first thing he's going to do is take me and just going to knock me straight back. But if I'm down in my stance, when I come off, it's here. That's why I say power stepping, where your eyes are below his eyes. Your eyes are below his eyes. You have body control. Body control, your hand placement, your hands are inside. Where I was talking about hands inside the armpit. Hat placement, the V of the neck, still the same, the V of the neck with your hat. Okay? So you have proper footwork where I'm power stepping. I have body control. My hands are inside. My hat's in the V of the neck. Now, when we talk about the blocking schemes, okay, it's basically, just say this, when we talk about aggressive blocks, you see, you're basically talking about a base block where when I say aggressive block, a lineman is coming off trying to knock you back. He's being aggressive. He's coming off trying to knock you back. So when I tell him a base block, say if a guy is just coming straight off, we very seldom see where a guy come off and just try to smash mouth us. You want to bust, bench, and disengage. On a base block, just bust, bench, and disengage. So the same thing, I'm coming off, I'm power stepping. When I make contact, usually on a base block, when you make contact, your feet stop because the guy's coming off on you. So he's coming straight ahead, you're going straight ahead. So when you step, he's stopping you. So usually the guy's got to get on the edge and just try to bust him and just take him straight back. Just bench press him back and disengage. And we talk about disengaging where, you know, if a guy is on you, you throw him, or let's get into that, you throw him, you rip him, or you swim him, and we'll talk about how to separate in a second. But the base block, you want to step, you want to bust, bench, and disengage. When you go a reach block is a double step now because you're attacking the line of scrimmage. So when I go a reach block, just say I'm down, so when my first step is a power step. Now he's trying to get outside of me, I got to step with my outside leg. It's a double step. So, all right, if the guy's reaching me, so I'm here, boom, so his hat is outside. On initial contact, he might have you reach because he's here, because you're power stepping. But the thing you got to do is keep the fit alive. You got to keep the fit alive, and you got to keep working outside with them. And then there's a drill where we do, where we steer the car, where you take your outside hand and just try to throw his outside shoulder and pull the inside shoulder on a base block. And then that allows you to throw your hips up the field. So then as I'm throwing my hips, I'm still working my feet. It's a double step. So I'm down in my stance is 1, 2, where I got him right here, where I'm trying to throw my outside hand, I'm pulling the inside shoulder, and I'm just running my hips up the field. And a lot of times you might have to flatten out. You will have to, not a lot, you will have to flatten out sometimes on a base block, but it's still, you got to attack. It's a double step where you push, pull, and try to run the guy up the field. Run your hips up the field. A double team, you know, you see a bunch of it, but what I tell a guy on a double team, if I'm aligned over the guard, I want to attack the postman. Attack the postman, and then if you feel it from the backside guys, you're attacking, you just want to drop right now. Just drop your hips and shoulders. Now, the thing you got to realize the difference between if it's going to be a double team or if he's just rubbing off to climb to the backside guy. So that's why I always say you want to drop the shoulder. So as I'm attacking him, I read the double team. And if it's here, now if that guy's coming low on me, I'm just going to get down low and just try to either build up, just make a pile, or just try to just fight it right there. I can't allow him to knock me back. Because what happens when he knocks me back, he's going to knock me back into the linebackers. And then that guy can't get off. But if it's just a rub, you always just throw and you just throw dip your shoulder, just throw your elbow to your knee. Now, if it's a rub, if the guy's trying to get to the backside guy, I'm still pushing. That way I can run off the block. But if he's down on me, if I know it's a double and I'm here, if it's a double, I just go down. Just go down and make a pile. Don't try to split the double team, because a lot of times you got a 280 and a 250, and they're going to just take you straight back. So if it's a double, if I know it's a double, I just want to make a pile. But if it's no double, as I'm attacking, I feel the double team, a dip. If the guy rubs me, then I'm just running off the block, up the field. That way you always stand alive on the double team. And the out-out block is nothing where if I'm a 5 technique, the play is going away from me. The tackle has came out just trying to knock me back outside to widen the gap to give them the cutback lane. Now, when you get an out-out block, what you want to do is you want to take him. When he comes off, you want to just step to him, just try to squeeze him, and just try to squeeze the hole back inside. Because a lot of times you don't want to cross face, because when you cross face, you lose the sight of the ball, so the ball might come back to where you're running to. So just take it. Anytime on an out-out block, just step to him and just try to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Even if you get head up, just stay head up with him, and whichever way the ball comes. If it comes off inside, you throw the guy, you get back inside. You fight. If it's outside, you're outside. But on the out-out is when the ball is going away from you, and they're taking it and trying to cut it back to your side. So you usually get an out-out block, so you just take it and just fight it. And just stay square, squeeze. Just keep squeezing, keep squeezing. Don't run up the field. Because what happens when he goes out, you run up the field, he's just going to push you outside, and the ball is going to cut right off your butt. So you read it out, just take it, just squeeze it, and just fight back to it. The non-aggressive blocks, when we say non-aggressive, a pass block is a non-aggressive block. You know, a guy ain't doing, he's just backing back, lineman just backing back, he's just giving you a way where you want to go, and then he's trying to pass protect you. An inside release, a guy if he goes inside, the thing you do is try to get a hand on him and just squeeze down. Just squeeze down with the inside block. Because a lot of teams, a lot of times we fit. Because, if a guy goes inside, we replace inside and the backer comes outside. So we fit off of inside releases. So you guys got to know, inside release, a pull away. Just say this, your line, your 5 technique, the tackle pull away from you here. You're on the backside. Either the fullback is coming to block you, okay? The fullback is coming to block you. You probably can get underneath the fullback and make a play on the counter. So a pull away is a non-aggressive block. A pull to the ball. Now, if a pull is to the ball, if you see the pull, a lot of times, it's just the way you're teaching your philosophy. Do you spill it? Do you spill it, or do you box the ball? Okay? Just say if I'm on the back, if I'm a 5 technique, a tackle is coming to kick me out, or a fullback is leading on me on a sprint draw to block me. Do I spill the ball outside to someone, or do I take the ball and box the ball? Do I stay outside and let somebody fit inside of him? So it just depends on how you play the ISO or how you play the double spill. It's up to you. But, a lot of times when we get that play, okay, we're align here. Just say if that guy was coming to block the rush backer right there, the guard. Now we tell the rush backer, either we're going to box the ball this play, we make a box call, or we make a spill call. Okay, if we're going to box the ball to this guy, to right here, now we usually have like a cornerback, we'll be rolled up, or we have a free safety who would drop down in this hole right here where they can't block him, then that guy will be running out of there. But it just depends on where you want the ball to spill. Do you want the ball to come inside? Because usually what happened, if they're going to run the ball, that guy's going to try to cut him off, and usually that guy there might come around for the Willie backer, and they run the fullback to the drop. So it just depends on how they run this counter play. But do you want the rush backer? Does he get upfield, and does he come underneath it and wrong shoulder it? It's up to you guys. We will tell the guy 2 different things. On one defense, we might put a box call on it. We might say 53 box. When we say box, you box the ball. Don't let the ball outside of you. Or then, if we don't put a box call on it, then he knows right now I'm a wrong shoulder and make the ball bounce outside. So, we make a box call, or we don't tell him anything, and he knows he's going to wrong shoulder it. So it just depends on the different releases of what you have. But what I was talking about a while ago with the out-out block, a lot of teams try to take the ball and they try to go out on that guy. They try to double here, and the center probably try to come off on the Sam. They start the action this way where they get the fullback coming, and that guy take the ball and just try to cut it back right here. Now we get an out block. We want to take him and attack that tackle and try to squeeze the hole. Just try to push him back down in the hole to make the ball come back, to make the ball come outside to him so that he knows right now I'm down the middle of that tackle. So I can come off either inside or I can come off outside. But he cannot just take off and run up the field. He cannot allow himself to run up the field. Because what happens then when that guy cut it back, there's a seam and hole right there. So he's got to fit it. He's got to get down the middle and squeeze and try to take that tackle and push him back in the hole. If he can't even push it, just stay right there and stay square and just come off. If I can come off inside, get down the middle, come off inside, or come off outside. But the worst thing they can do is run up the field. But those are just the blocking when we say aggressive and non-aggressive. Now we talk about just separation and escape. You know, there's different ways. James, let me use your again, please. There's different ways that you can separate from a blocker and escape. You know what we tell them when we just go a press. Your hands are inside, so when I come off, I'm just pressing him back right here. Hands are inside underneath the armpit. I'm just taking him and just pressing him back. I'm down the middle of it. So either way the ball goes, I can throw him here or I can throw him here, whichever way the ball goes. But I'm in a press position, and I'm just taking him and just taking him straight back, just pressing him back. Okay, that's a press. What you want to do is you want to try to just take the blocker, and either way, if I'm head up on him and I see the ball carrier, so if I'm here, the ball carrier has dipped this way here, so I just take him, turn the shoulders, and jump to the outside. You don't ever want to come off the blocker until you know where the ball has committed. Because what happened, if I'm here, I jump outside, the ball commit back inside. Now I'm walled off from the ball. Always come on, always know where the ball is. So as I'm pressing, he cuts back inside, I'm off the block, making the play. But know where the ball is going to commit. Now the next one we do is we do a rip. And this here is happening a lot of times when we get the guy who's trying to reach us. Okay, so when I'm pressing, I'm ripping off of it, I'm press, rip, here. I'm stepping and just ripping off of it. Because what happens, a lot of times he comes, I throw his outside, take my outside hand and try to throw his outside shoulder back and just rip off of it. That's one of our rip moves. That's when we run off a block, we want to rip it. A lot of times we'll go an arm over where we want to press and we want to lower the shoulder, near hand rip over the shoulder. So I'm here. It's nothing but a swim move. Usually on a swim move, a lot of times you see guys swim, they want to come here. And what happens is when you're here, he stabbed me. So when he stabbed me, he's knocked me straight back, and I can't do nothing. So when I'm ripping, I'm pressed, and it's like a punch. It's a tight throw here. Tight throw here, where I'm just almost like punching the guy right there. A tight throw on the rip.
Don't you pull at the same time?
Right, I'm pulling at the same time. I'm here pulling the shoulder down. It's like you throwing a punch at a guy there. That way that allowed me to drop my shoulder and I'm coming down on the arm over. But a while ago when I was talking about the double step, I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, he's a blocker. He steps here. He steps outside right there. What I got to do is when I'm coming, when I talk about double step, it's here, here. Now initially he might have me reach. I'm reached right now, but I got to keep the fit alive where I'm moving my feet, and I'm just trying to throw that outside shoulder right there to rip off of it. And you get a bunch of reach blocks. When the guys are reaching, you get a bunch of reach blocks. So that's what I got to do. If I'm getting an inside release, if he releases inside of me, If I'm in a left-handed stance, if he releases inside, I'm here just coming right off his hip. Tight off his hip. On the inside release, if he's inside of me, just come tight off his hip right there. Don't leave a gap. Don't let him release inside. If he's inside, and all of a sudden you run up the field, because the ball is coming back right here. Always come tight off his hip on an inside release. And on a base, if he comes off, he's coming to me. He step, both of our hands, we're trying to get our hands inside. My feet are stopped. I'm just trying to press him back. You know, some of you might not have guys that are able to do it, but what we try to do, if you just work on just staying down and getting underneath his pads, you can take him straight back. But just the pad level, your hand placement, and you know, the hat in the V of the neck and everything. Thanks. But, you know, that's what we talk about when we talk about press, push, and pull. You get the rip, which is ripping off the block, and then you get the arm over. Then we talk about ways to whip a blocker. You got to make him move. Instead of more, you want to make him move. The thing you got to do is take the blocker's hands away. Because the thing he's trying to do, you're trying to get your hands inside. He's trying to get his hands inside. You have got to take the blocker's hands away. You know, a lot of times you can use a karate chop. When I get in a pass rush, I teach you, how we teach the hands and everything, getting the hands off of it. But you got to take the blocker hands away. You have got to shoot your hands. So when I come out, I got to shoot my hands right now. Shoot the hands, hip and knee extension, no hip roll, flat back. All I always talk about, flat back hat speed, flat back hat speed. Okay, when I come off, I want a flat back hat speed. Don't roll your hips, because when I roll my hips, I'm giving the guy a blocking angle, and he's going to take me and just take me straight back. So just, you want to come out of your legs, good hip and knee explosion, and outrun the blocker. What I mean by that, sometimes, if you get a reach block, if you can outrun him, boom, I'm up the field, I'm outrunning him right now. If I'm inside release, I'm off his hip, and I'm running down inside. But you have to make him move. And a lot of times what happens is when you get a big guy there, you cannot make him move because you're running in there and just trying to smash mouth it. You got to get on the edge of the guy and make him move his feet. Most of the defensive linemen are going to be quicker than the offensive linemen. They're going to be faster than a lot of offensive linemen. So you got to use your speed and your quickness to your advantage, where you get on the edge, where you make the guy move, where you take his blocker hands away, where you shoot your hands, hip and knee extension, no hip roll, and outrun the blocker. Okay, now that's what we talk about when we talk about run technique. So it's just some of the things we talk about. And when we go run technique, I work probably, if I have a 2-hour practice, I work an hour on runs, and then I come back and work an hour on passes. But, a lot of times, like I said, we neglect the fundamentals and the run techniques a lot of times because we're thinking, a lot of defensive linemen, they just want to rush that passer. They don't want to stop the run. They figure, hey, I can go and get me about 7 or 8 sacks, coach, and that's what and it's not about them getting them 7 or 8 sacks. It's about them trying to stop the run. Okay, any questions about run techniques? All right, we're going to take a break here, and then we come back, I'll talk about pass technique.
Okay, man, if you came in late, be sure that you leave your drawing.
The car.
Hi, my name is Mark Snyder, and I'm the defensive line coach here at the University of Minnesota. Today we're going to be talking about various types of defensive line drills to help enhance the athlete's performance throughout a season. first part of the defensive line drills we start with is what we call the agility drill. The first drill I'm going to have Drew do is what we call a defensive line wave drill, okay? Drew's going to pop up. We're going to do a lateral shuffle, and he's going to burst past me 5 yards. Okay, go ahead and step back 2 yards, Drew. Here we go. The commands are going to be up. He's going to come to the line. I'm going to say feet, and he's going to start buzzing his feet, and then we're going to move a lateral shuffle, and I'm going to tell him out of here, and he's going to run by me. Here we go. Up, feet, here, 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 go, burst. Good. Okay, now this is going to be a reverse angle. Here we go. Up, feet, here, here, shuffle, here, burst, 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 burst. Good. Another way we change this drill up is same commands, and what Drew will do is just a seat roll. And when I say go, he's going to do a forward roll and burst past me. Okay, here we go, Drew. You come, when I say up, you'll be on all fours. Here we go. Up, move them, spin, spin, spin. Get out of here. Get up running, burst, burst, burst. Very nice. The next drill we do is what we call a high knee drill. It's not a race. We try to pace ourselves, looking for good arm action. Drew's going to raise his knees up, coordinate some rhythm, looking to strengthen these muscles and work on flexibility, okay? We ready, Drew? There we go. And we usually do this for 10 yards. Set, go. High knees, Drew. High knees, good rhythm, little forward body lean, good high knees. Very nice. Stop it right there, Drew. Now the next thing we do, coming back, is what we call quick step. We're looking for the same thing. Now I want to see violent, short arm actions with nice, quick feet. Again, this is a pace, not a race. And we're going to see how many times we can pitter-patter our feet right down through here. Great for coordination and rhythm. Ready, Drew? Set, go. Nice, quick, nice, quick, nice, quick. Rhythm, that's nice, like pistons. Pistons, pop them, pop them, pop them, pop them. Very nice. Very nicely done. The next agility drill we do is our cone drill, four-corner cone drill. And what Drew's going to do is go from one skill to another in a hurry. It's great for endurance, flexibility, and body control. So what we're going to do, Drew's going to start with a bear crawl, then he's going to do a shuffle, a karaoke, and then a sprint. The most important thing in this drill, in my mind, is sprinting past this cone. A lot of these are not football-based drills. They're great for agility, but effort, total effort past that cone is part of football, getting to the football. And you can change these up in any manner you'd like. We ready, Drew? Here we go. Set, go. Grab him, grab him, grab him, grab him. Get up, shuffle, shuffle, buzz in feet. Give me a good football position, karaoke. Get down, get down, get down. Burst, 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 burst. Very nice. The next drill we do is a 20-yard cone drill. It's a competitive drill. It's fun for the kids. It gets them used to distributing their weight in a good football position and changing directions, reaching for a target. Now, you may want to use a higher cone so they don't have to reach as low to get the ball. We're going to make these guys work today. You guys ready? We'll start that way. 20-yard cone drill. We're going to run, touch, change directions, run and touch, and reach for their target. See who gets to the ball first. Ready? Go! Touch, get back. Change directions. You got him, Drew. You got him, Drew. Boom! Very nice. Drew got coach. Next, what we're going to do is a lateral shuffle. Involve some tennis balls. I'm going to roll the tennis balls on 45-degree angles. Coach Dyer's going to shuffle back and forth, taking the time to pick up the ball, find his target, and throw it back to me before he shuffles to the next ball. Great for the quadriceps. It's a nice burn. Really good on lateral change of directions. Here we go, Coach. Ready? Move. Very nice. Good enough. The next agility drill we're going to do is what we call the cat drill. We're going to place a cone 5 yards from the individuals with a tennis ball on top. Another competitive drill of getting up off the ground, bursting to the football, and reaching for a target. Cat drill. You guys ready? Here we go. So go. Get up and get there. Reach, reach. Nice. Very nice. The next agility drill we're going to do is what we call the slalom drill. Again, another great lateral change of direction shuffle, great for the quads drill. And always at the end of every one of my drills, we're always going to burst 5 yards. We're going to get in the habit of bursting to the football, okay? Here we go, Drew. Ready? Go. Shuffle, 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 burst. Very nice. The next drill we're going to do is what we call the every foot drill. Drew's going to step over every bag, leading with the onside foot, hitting both feet in every hole with good arm action. After the last bag, we're going to turn and burst 5 yards. Great for rhythm and coordination. Here we go, Drew. That's it. Hit. Pick them up, put them down. Pick them up, put them down. Burst. The next agility drill we do is what we call a change of direction drill. Drew's going to step over every bag, leading with the onside foot, hitting both feet in every hole with good arm action. Once he clears the last bag, he's going to play off a cut block. When we play off the cut block off the orange ball, I want to see his eyes down in there and pop that ball back to me, and he's going to do the same thing back through. Change the direction drill. You ready, Drew? Here we go. Set, hit, pick him up, put him down. Good, get back. We now move on to the run play drills. The first drill we're going to do is what we call a sled punch. Drew's going to shoot his hands into this sled, thumbs at 1 and 11 o'clock. I'm looking for hip roll and good hand placement. Take it to the sky, hit it on the rise. Here we go. You ready, Drew? Yep. Set, hit. One more time. Set, hit. Okay. We're now going to stand up, take it to the next progression. He's now going to stand up and incorporate a foot. We're going to be in a 3-point stance and do the exact same thing. Incorporate your feet, get them feet buzzing for me, Drew. Set, hit. Very nice. One more time. Left-handed stance. You see him changing his stance. Sit, hit. Very nice. The next progression we take off of this is the exact same drill, but now he's going to escape off the sled. We ready, Drew? Sit, hit. Very nice. Take it the other way now. Escape the other way. Notice his hand placement, how he takes it to the sky. Sit, hit. Very nice. The next drill we're going to do is what we call a 2-point explosion. Drew's going to go in and out of every hole as Coach Carey follows him. He's going to perform a nice blow delivery in and out of each hole just so he gets used to moving and delivering a blow. Here we go. We ready? Set, hit. Good, nice. Take him to the sky. Good, nice first step. Take him to the sky. Very nice. Good. The next drill we're going to do is what we call shade explosion. The same thing, we're a gap cancellation defense here. We play shades. We're going to shade Drew to the left. He's going to step, blow delivery, good fundamentals, and escape into his gap. You ready, Drew? Set, hit. Very nice. The next drill we're going to do is what we call a base drill, the next progression. Now what we're looking for is base. In order to play football, you have to have a good base, a good center of gravity. So what we're going to do here is Drew's going to step over the bags, and them bags are going to make him keep a good base as he strikes this guy with his blow delivery. Here we go. Set, hit. Nice base, very nice. The next drill we're going to do is a triangle drill. Get the players used to having blockers come at them and using their peripheral vision and executing good fundamental form and technique with their blow delivery and strike from all different angles. Okay? Here we go. Feet. Good. Good. The next drill we're going to do is a cross-face drill. The same thing, I want Drew using his peripheral vision, feeling blockers coming at him from different angles, except this time he's going to hit him on the rise, and he's going to cross-face. Okay? Here we go. Feet. Very nice. Very nice. The next drill we're going to do is what we call a push-pull drill. Drew's going to get a good fit on Coach Dyer. Thumbs at 1 and 11 o'clock, good bend in his knees. I'm going to have him close his eyes and feel Coach Dyer push with pressure. Once Drew feels pressure, he's going to fight pressure with pressure, push, pull, turn his shoulders, escape into that gap. Because so many times on any type of block, the defensive lineman gets covered up when he's really responsible for a gap. The best way to get back into his gap is to push, pull. Here we go. Give me a good fit. Fit him up. Give me a good fit, Drew. Notice the bend in his knees, some air underneath the heels. Close your eyes. Feel the pressure. Ready, push. Good, Drew. Very nice. Very nice. Push-pull drill. Now we move on to a more realistic block reaction drill, where I have a tackle and tight end, Drew's a shaded 5 technique, and we're going to work on base fundamental blocks. First, we're going to start with just a good old base block. Here we go, with the tackle's basing him. Set, hit. Very nice C-gap control. Then we move on to a reach block. A reach block where the offensive tackle is trying to reach the 5 technique. Here we go. Set, hit. Very nice. Bring it back. The next drill we're going to do is what we call a scoop drill, where the offensive tackle tries to climb up to our 8th hat in our 8-man front. Drew's going to try to keep that tackle off that 8th hat with base fundamentals as he shoots his hands to the chest plate. The second block we'll see is the offensive tackle running out of there, climbing, not allowing Drew to get his hands on him. In that instance, Drew will now control his gap and run his feet down in there. Let's go through the basic scoop with the tackle climbing first. You try to take him over, Mike. Here we go. Set, hit. Nice, Drew. Nice. Bring it back. Now we're going to run the tackle up to the 8th hat. We're just going to run him. The offensive line coach is getting on him for not getting up to the 8th hat, so he's going to run out of there, and the tight end is going to run down inside and try to take Drew over and get him out of his gap. Drew's job is to stay in that C gap and bounce that ball all the way back to the unblocked player. Set, hit. Good. There you go, Drew. Very nice. The next drill we're going to do is a double team. A double team with the tackle chipping to the backside linebacker. Our base fundamental teaching here is to attack our key, the post. We're going to turn and get small and try to hold on to that tackle. The key here is to maintain the integrity of the defense. We do not want to get knocked off the ball into the linebackers. If we feel they're getting movement on us, we will then drop to the ground and get small. As a base fundamental, though, we're going to try to keep the tackle off the backside linebacker. Here we go. Set, hit. Good. And I like to see Drew get his pad level down, okay, on the double team. The next double team that we see is a double team where the tight end climbs to the play side linebacker. The defensive lineman's got to feel that and throw his body back into his gap. Here we go. You're going to double team Mike, and you're going to climb. Set, hit. Good. Work back out in your gap. Good, Drew. We now move on to the pass rush drills. The first progression of the pass rush is get off, take off, and basically all we're working on here is peripheral vision, getting in a good stance, a 40-yard dash stance, and moving on movement. I'm looking for an elongated first step. We ready, Coach Dyer? Here we go. Move on my foot movement. Move on my foot movement, Drew. Move on movement. Periph that thing and get out of your stance. The next drill we're going to do is what we call a rabbit drill. We align the guy at 2 to 2.5 yards, and on movement, he's going to burst out of his stance and try to reach and touch his target, touch the guy that's backpedaling before he gets to 5 yards. This builds confidence in pass rushers as to how much ground they can cover on an offensive tackle on a speed rush. Here we go. Ready? Go get him, Chris. Reach for your target. Get out. Good. Okay, let's turn it around. Drew, you coming back. Drew coming back. We can go right up here on this 5-yard marker here. Coach Dyer can be right here. Here we go. Get off on movement. Get him, Drew. Go get him. Go. Nice. Very nice, Drew. Very nice. The one thing you'll find, man, if you can find a pass rusher where you align him on that white yard marker right there and you align a guy at 3 yards, and on movement, he can be touched before he gets to this 5-yard marker here, you found yourself a speed rusher. The next drill we're going to do involves a tennis ball. We call it the get-off drill. Simply teaches defensive linemen to move on movement. I'm going to hold this ball up, and I'm going to drop it on the ground. Before it bounces the second time, Drew is to come out of his stance when that ball leaves my hand and grab that thing before it takes a second bounce. We ready, Drew? Really good for takeoff. Really good for putting your eyes on a target and reaching for it. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Let's go again, Drew. We're going to make it a little bit harder on him this time. You can start right there. I'm not going to hold the ball up as high this time. Left-handed stance would be great. Left-handed stance would be great. You know, get out of your stance and get off on movement. Reach. Okay. And again, you can tinker with your players as to how fast they are, but it's great for getting off on movement and reaching for your target. The next drill we're going to do is what we call a short wave break drill. I'm going to bring Drew up into the bags. We're going to change directions. He's going to rush the quarterback, and I'm going to throw the ball here. I'm going to throw the ball here. He's going to retrace for screen. It's kind of an ultimate effort drill. Here we go. Ready, Drew? Up. Here. Buzz him. Here. Here. Come get me. Ball. Get there. Get there. Get there. Get there. Very nice. The next drill we're going to do is what we call an indicator drill. The indicators being the front hand, the shoulder, the ball, the platform, or the quarterback. We're going to execute a pass rush move, and Drew's going to get his hands up, knock the ball down on my indicators as I throw the ball. Here we go. We ready, Drew? Here we go. Set, go. Very nice. Very nice. Indicator drill. The next drill we're going to do is what we call a high strip drill. Drew's going to execute a slat pass over, rake my backhand. The key here is after you get through all your pass rush stuff, you have to know how to sack the quarterback. We want the ball on the ground. We ready, Drew? High strip drill. Grab cloth with your inside hand, strip him with the backhand. Set, go. Very nice. Very nice. The next drill we're going to do is what we call the lean drill. Just to get defensive linemen used to leaning edges, leaning corners, compressing edges. And if Drew wants to drag his hand, I more than welcome that. Here we go. We ready, Drew? Take her around one time. Set, go. Lean it, baby. Lean it. Lean it, lean it. Keep it tight, keep it tight, keep it tight. Good. Not bad. Not bad. Now, the next thing we'll do, we'll take it one step further, and we're going to do what we call figure 8. So now he's leaning this way, then he's got to lean this way. Teaches great body control. Let's take it one time, starting right here, Drew. Keep her tight for me now. Keep her tight. Lean, lean, fluent, and be smooth. Set, go. Lean it, baby. Lean it, lean it, lean it. Keep it tight. Lean it, Drew. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Lean it, lean it, lean it, lean it. Good. Very nice. Very nice. The next drill we do is what we call a chase drill. Adds a little excitement to this. This drill gets a little monotonous with the guys and adds a little competition. What we do, we put a guy about 4 yards at a head start, and we put a guy behind him. We see who our best leaners are, who our best edge rushers are. And we just kind of compete and run a figure 8 here. We ready, guys? Coach versus player. Go! Go get him, Drew. Lean it, Drew. Lean it, Drew. Get him, Drew. Lean it, Drew. Get him, Drew. Reach for him. Very good. Okay, you got to see an example of the player chasing the coach. Now we're going to have a little fun. We're going to let the coach chase the player. Here we go, guys. One time around, one figure 8. Key here, coach, is to burst out of your stance. Ready? Go! Lean it, coach. Lean him, coach. You got him, coach. You got him, coach. As you've seen, he lost his balance up there because he didn't dip and compress that corner. The next series of drills we do are on the bell dummies. The first one being shake and bake. All Drew's simply going to do is come up to each bag and shake it. Now, the key here is to make sure you're getting good upper body movement. A lot of kids will want to dazzle their feet. That does not get an offensive lineman to stop kicking back on his pass pro. You want to see upper body movement. Upper body movement, I found, stops the offensive lineman's feet, puts them in stone, and it gives you hands so you can execute a pass rush move. Shake and bake is very, very effective. So all we're going to do is go down through here, and Drew's is going to shake each bag. Ready, Drew? Yep. On you, babe. Shake, good. Shake him, very nice. Nice shake, there we go. Good, very nice. Again, shake and bake is very, very effective in stopping an offensive lineman from kicking back, taking away your surface to get to the quarterback, and it also allows you to get hands, which is very important to us. The next drill we're going to do is simply a slat passover drill. Slat passover, a lot of people call it a swim. I don't like to call it a swim because a swim is more of this motion, and you expose yourself to get stabbed in the heart by an offensive lineman just to punch you. I want it to be tight. I want it to be a slat and tight. Bring it right over the top. We're not quite there yet. We're doing a great job with our offhand, but you're going to see in the video, we're still doing this at times, and we're getting away with it because we're catching that front hand. Hit, clean up. Hit, clean up. And all we're going to do is slat and pass it over down through the bags. Are we ready, Drew? No shake, just slat pass over. Here we go. Ready, go. Good. Keep it tight, Drew. Good. Keep it tight. That a baby. Keep it tight. Good. Notice how he's passing it over, man. He's passing it over, and he's not swimming. The next move we go to, and all we're doing is simply practicing pass rush moves, tools that these kids can use. The next one is a slap uppercut. It's not really one of my favorites. I do teach it. I believe that when you slap and you uppercut, you slap to get away, and when you uppercut, you end up locking back up with the offensive lineman. I like more drills where we stay away, but I do teach this tool, and you'll see it on the film. Our kids do use it with some success. Okay, slap uppercuts, Drew, all the way down. On you. Slap uppercut, very nice. Slap uppercut. Slap uppercut. Slap uppercut, very nice. The next drill we do is what we call the ninja drill. I allow my players to spin, and it takes a lot of practice, but I think it's a very, very effective pass rush move. We call it twirl, spin, twirl. Now the key is on these bags don't move with you. So we really want to step and sell, this being the ninja, the offhand. As you spin, you want to bring that hand around. Let me do it the other way. You want to come up, sell, ninja. That propels you to the quarterback. That slap on the back, the surface, you're looking for surface, and that propels you in a direct line to the quarterback. And we actually work on spinning. I call it the ninja drill because that's what I want to pay the most important. That's what I want to pay the most importance to, is that offhand. Very important. As we spin, we wrap that hand around and slap him in the back to propel us to the quarterback. We ready, Drew? Takes a lot of practice to get this done, but I think it's worth the time and the effort that you put into it. Here we go. Ready, go. Step, spin. Open that palm up. Good. Open that palm up. Good. Open that palm up. The next drill we do is what we call pass rush transition drill. I let the young men use whatever pass rush move they want down through there. I ask for one counter move as they go. The interesting thing that I found out about pass rush, if we work with this premise, we're going to work on one half of the body and we're going to eliminate the hand to the side we're going to go to. There's all kinds of tools you can learn and use, and these young men come up with tools themselves. It becomes fun. So as we go down through this pass rush transition drill, I let them do whatever techniques they want. Slap the hands, a very simple slap the hands away. It's a very, very effective pass rush move. Working on one half of the body and eliminate the hand to the side you're going to go to. Very, very simple. So as we go down through here, I let these guys do their own techniques, their own pass rush, whatever they feel comfortable with. I ask them to master two and one counter move. So as he goes down through here, I want to see one counter move and then a series of pass rush moves. On you, Drew. Have a plan. Good. He started right with a counter. Good. Slap pass over. A slap uppercut and the shuffle. Very nice. Nice plan there. I ask my guys, especially in third and long, men, make sure your players have a plan. Third and long, I want them to have a plan. A plan and a counter plan. And that's what this pass rush transition drill is for. The next drill we're going to do is what we call an over rush counter drill, where we actually got beyond the quarterback's depth. And we want to work ourselves back down inside to the quarterback's level. Okay? Two ways we do that. Two base ways I like to see my guys do that. Either we get up above the quarterback and he's running me and I stop and spin back under with my ninja, or he's running me up the field and I'm rushing a hook back under so I don't get pushed by the quarterback. Over rush counter. Here we go. And I want him to be cognizant. I want him to be aware of where that quarterback's set up. It doesn't help you to get pushed by the quarterback. Here we go, Drew. Over rush counter, babe. Set, go. There it is right there. Very nice. Bring it back. Now give me a hook, Drew. Work him up the field and hook him through. And you'll see this in my practice video as we get downstairs here. A hook. Here we go. Give him a nice hook. Set, go. Good. There we go. There we go. And again, with shoulder pads on, that would be really violent. Throw by, come back under. Over rush counter. Next drill we're going to do is what we call a wide rush counter drill. That's simply an offensive lineman jumping me from the get-go. A lot of offensive tackles jump my guys because of our pass rush techniques we teach, and the most effective way is really to jump those guys. So we work tremendously hard on the wide rush jump. And usually what we do, I allow my guys to undercut. Any kind of jump we get, we're going to undercut it right now, and we actually practice that. Here we go. Coach Carey jumping like an offensive tackle with that wide rush. Set, go. Very nice. There it is right there. We undercut any jump. I allow my guys to undercut. They can spin, they can swim, they can slap uppercut. Any kind of a jump. The next drill we're going to do is what we call a pressure point drill. The pressure points being the wrist, elbow, and shoulder pad. If we ever get a hold of any of these, we never want to let go of them because the offensive lineman's dead. Now, obviously, the shoulder pad is the easiest to get because of the surface. Then the elbow, the wrist is the hardest to get. Okay? So what me and Drew's going to do, we're going to sit here and actually practice hitting pressure points. I'll go pressure point, pressure point, pressure point. You see, I'm working up the arm, hardest to easiest. Pressure point, pressure point, pressure point. Pressure point, pressure point, pressure point. It's kind of like breathing. When you go to bed at night, you train your body. You don't think about breathing. You just do it. And I think you can do the same thing in pass rush. You get a hold of one of these pressure points by hitting them, never let go of them. So we just practice hitting them. And it gets to the point, we're to the point now with our guys where we just carry on a conversation when we're in shells. How's your mom, Drew?
She's good.
Good. How's your girlfriend?
All good.
She doing good? How's your schoolwork?
All going fine.
Great, great, beautiful. Looks like you're growing a little beard there.
I'm working on it.
Are you working on it?
Yeah, I kind of pulled off.
It is. See, and it becomes very progressive. Then we move on to a flash drill, what we call a flash drill. Now I want to see them hands flash, and I want to see them grab a pressure point and incorporate a pass rush move. We ready, Drew? I'm going to flash you, babe. Very nice. 2 wrists. Got both my wrists. Let's go this way right here, Drew. Okay, good. Went for the elbow. Let's come back this way, right here. Very nice, very nice. Little pass over. Nice move right there. Very simple move. Just a little snake, knocking the hand around. One more, Drew. One more flash. Good. Just knock them away. Very simple move. Just knock them away. Knock them away. Pressure points. The next segment we're going to move on to is movement drills, twist and line stunts. The first drill we're going to do is what we call down the line drill. Drew's going to step over every bag, leading with his onside foot in a good football position through every bag. And when he hits that last bag, I want to see him turn and open his hips and work on straight lines. I want to see him work on a straight line. Guys that can turn their hips and flop their hips and work in straight lines are usually pretty good twist and game pass rushers for you. We ready, Drew? Here we go. Let me see you open those hips up. Sit, go. Good. Turn it. Very nice. Okay, let's go one more time, Drew. Let's go one more time. Now this time, I'm going to bring it way down in here. And Drew ought to be able to do this. We've been doing this for about 2 years now. This is a great drill for us. Here we go. Really cut this thing tight now, Drew. Notice his hips flop as he gets to the last bag. Sit, go. Turn it. Very nice. Very nice. Down the line drill. The next drill we're going to do is what we call the twist drill, where we actually work on our twists and stunts. The first drill we're going to do is going to send the defensive tackle through the B gap. His aiming point is the butt of the offensive tackle. Drew's going to take one step to set up the tackle and skim it tight off of the defensive tackle's butt. Go ahead and shade over here for me, Coach, right there. Tight off the defensive tackle's butt. Now, one thing you got to understand before we run this stunt, that with a 2-man surface over here, one of 2 things are going to happen. That center's going to turn to him, and he's got to be ready to execute a pass rush move, or that center's going to turn away. And we ought to be able to push this pick off right here. Okay, you guys ready? Coach, your aiming point's right here, the butt of the offensive tackle, and Drew, you're tight off his butt. Here we go. Set, go. Right there. Very nice. Very nice. And again, one of 2 things can happen. The center can turn to him, the center can turn away. We actually work on that twist drill. The next drill we're going to do is what we call a slant and angle drill. The first thing we're going to do is teach these young men how to slant. Slant into the opposing gap inside of them. Aiming point, the cheek, the butt of the inside lineman, the cheek, the butt of the inside lineman. Their first step should be flat. The first step should be flat and then vertical. Flat, then vertical. Here we go, guys. First thing we're going to do is slant. Okay, now time out real quick. Just as a coaching point here, as you see Coach Dyer here, it's hard to slant in the direction when you got your opposite hand down. So we want to switch his stance, go inside foot back, inside hand down, because that's the way he's going. Give me a nice, good flat step, Coach. Here we go. Set, go. There we go. Very nice. There's a slant. Now we're going to move on to an angle. Now we're going to move on to an angle. Coach Dyer's going to be right here, and Drew's going to be right here. Now we're going to angle out. Everybody's angling out. We're probably bringing linebackers up in the middle. Personally, for me, I'd rather give away the stunt by changing my stance. I want the outside foot back, outside hand down to the way I'm going to step, because I do not want to get cut off or blocked down. If I get any kind of down block, I want to be able to cross face. So we're going to change our stances. Ball still in here. We're now going to angle. Here we go. Set, go. Very nice. Very nice. The next thing we do with our defensive linemen is our pinch drill, where we're pinching everybody, canceling every gap inside, this representing the center, both A gaps. Everybody pinching with the linebacker scraping or jumping over the top. And we want our defensive linemen to understand this drill, that they need to get inside and push everything wide. The ball's on the 2-yard line, like a pinch drill, okay? Same techniques, inside foot back, inside hand down. I want a good lateral step, then vertical, right to the butt. Make sure you guys don't run into each other. Here we go. Set, go. Nice. There we go. Very nice pinch drill. Okay, now we're going to move on to the defensive end zone dog drill. Drew's a step out. He's going to be primary support most of the time in all of our zone dogs. Clear run, and then he's going to be a 1 drop, an out flat flare area dropper. Okay, he's going to kick into his drop at a 45-degree angle, kick into a back pedal, get his eyes back on the quarterback. Here we go. Set, go. Pass. Zone up. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Well, that concludes our defensive line drills. Look for my other 2 tapes in this 3-part series.
And I think that one thing that in Nebraska that we try to do each year that I think is somewhat meaningful is we sit down and we write out a mission statement, which is more or less our philosophy of coaching. And I guess that most years it stays fairly similar. Of course, we change, we adjust, but I would recommend to you that if you're going to do any one thing, that's where you start, that you have a mission statement, that you have a way that you're going to operate. It should be fairly simple, but everybody's on the same page. So the offense, the defense understand that this is how you're going to operate. There's no conflict between line coach, backfield coach. Everybody has a similar understanding. And I guess just by way of example, I might present to you what I would say our philosophy of football at Nebraska is. First of all, I think that we believe in a very strong work ethic. Now, I think most everybody would say, well, you got to work hard in football. But the idea is that we're simply going to leave no stones unturned. In our game preparation, in our recruiting, in our off-season program, we're going to do the very best we can to prepare our players and to have a tremendous attitude of work and cooperation. So we think a strong work ethic is very important, and we think that carries over into our football program. Our players, I think over the years, over the last 20, 30 years, if I were to typify what's going on with our players, we've had a bunch of players who will work very hard, and they will pay a very great price just to get on the football field. So I think a strong work ethic is something that we try to really instill in everybody in our program. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to try to represent the University of Nebraska or your high school or your organization, whoever's footing the bill, whoever's employing you, ought to get your very best. So we're going to try to represent the University of Nebraska in a way that we will not embarrass the university in any way, that they'll be proud of. And of course, the university has an academic mission, and we think it's important that our players fit into that. We don't want our players to try to stand out in any way. We want them to be students, go to class, not wear any clothing that brings attention to the fact that they're athletes. And hopefully our players will graduate and perform as well as other students on the campus and be part of that academic mission. And of course also we want to operate with integrity so we don't get our name of our school blasted around the country and of course embarrassing the institution or the state of Nebraska. And I'm sure you feel that way about your program. Then I guess the third thing that I would mention to you that I think is very important, and that is that we want to promote the personal growth of our players. In other words, when our players leave Nebraska, we would hope that they're better people, that they're better prepared to live their lives out than when they came there. And of course, we're like anybody else. We win some, we lose some, but hopefully we win more than we lose. And I guess there are really three dimensions that we really hit hard. First, of course, is the physical dimension. I think almost every coach does a good job in the weight room, preparing his athletes to play the game and maximizing their physical abilities. We also look very hard at our intellectual capabilities. We want to have them as fully developed mentally as they possibly can be. And we think also the spiritual component is very important. And I think that in some ways in our country in the last 10 or 15 years, we've almost tried to shut down or deny the fact that we are spiritual beings as well. And so we make sure our players have an opportunity to go to church on Sundays if we're out of town or in Lincoln. We never have practice during time when that would conflict. We also make sure we have a chapel service before every ball game. We have a time of silent prayer before and after every game. And we really encourage people, our players particularly, to have a strong spiritual background, because a multidimensional person is going to do much better than someone who simply knows where the weight room is, where the football field is, and then when those playing days are over, he's going to have a very hard time. So that kind of encompasses, I guess, our approach to athletics, and I'm not saying that should be your approach. I'm simply saying that is our approach, and I would encourage you to in a similar way, sit down with your staff and really develop a mission statement, a philosophy, and that's what you're going to hang your hat on, and that will give you stability, it will give you consistency in your program, and will enable you to move on and I think have some success. First segment that we're going to talk about today here that I think is very important is perimeter blocking. And the reason I've chosen this is I think sometimes it's neglected. And I know Les Steckel talked yesterday some about receivers and some about blocking. But most clinics I go to, this is something that isn't talked about a great deal. If you stop to think about it, most of the big plays, particularly the big running plays that you have offensively, there's almost always been at least one and oftentimes two and sometimes three key blocks by receivers. Your offensive line, the interior line, the quarterback, the running backs can do a tremendous job of executing, but usually you're not going to have more than a 5 or 6 or 7 yard gain unless somebody makes a block downfield, because the secondary is going to support and get the job done. So I think out of the last 12 or 13 years, we've led the nation 7, 8, 9 times in rushing. We've usually had between a 6 and 7 yard per carry rushing average. I think the main reason we've been able to do this is that we have had players who will block downfield. We want to play the game with 11 players. And as I watch films and as I watch football, I think sometimes we're playing with 10 and sometimes with 9 and sometimes with 8 because you have a receiver out there who's waiting for third down, or you have a quarterback who won't hit anybody, or you have somebody who feels that they're not a contact player. And again, I'm not saying that our approach is the right approach, but that's the approach we've taken. All 11 guys are going to be willing to lay it on the line. Our quarterback isn't going to hook slide. If he has to, he'll run upfield tough. Our receivers will block on every play. And of course, we motivate our receivers as much as we can. We keep track of blocks that spring people for touchdowns. We keep track of how many times we knock somebody down in a ball game with our receivers. We have a set goal as to how many times we're going to put somebody on the ground, just simply our wide receivers and our tight end. So it's very important that we do a good job of motivating those people. So we're going to take a look at a little bit of tape here that I think illustrates this. So I'll show you 8 or 9 plays that I think show different types of downfield blocks. And then we'll move into some drills that I think have been fairly important and fairly helpful in terms of perimeter blocking. And we'll use some of these players here. So we'll go ahead and roll the first segment of the tape on perimeter blocking.